It's so much easier to share with you here the wins on the farm and ignore our failures and setbacks that are much harder to talk about. Portraying an image online that seems too good to be true.
It's a cattle paddle.
This is how I ended up trying to film that scene. It's just... How am I supposed to work under these conditions?
This is the story of an extremely hard week for us on the Ramshackle Ranch in late November. Too painful to put together at the time, we are sharing it with you now. On this week, our favourite black Australorp hen was killed one afternoon by a fox, right in front of the house. The fox then ran off into the bush with a second hen screaming blue murder. Alerted by the noise, Troy took chase after the fox, which made it drop the hen. She then, thankfully, ran straight to him for safety. For a long time after the ordeal, we were racked with worry that she might not survive the stress of the event. My aunt sent us 10 keat eggs that we incubated at the end of October. Of the 10 eggs, 6 had chicks inside them after candling. We woke one morning to 4 of them tapping on the screen of the incubator. The remaining 2 chicks were slow to hatch and sadly never made it. In the same day, devastatingly, I left the door to the study open and 2 of the 4 healthy chicks fell prey to our cat. With the days getting hotter, we decided to collect our salumi from under Troy's sister's house, only to discover that one of our prosciuttos had become fly-blown.
They haven't attacked anything else. It's just moist enough to
Get in there.
fly blow.
We salvaged what we could, the bits that were not spoiled by maggot infestation. We were so melancholy for what could have been. All that effort, raising, butchering, curing and monitoring, and so much excitement for the final product, spoiled by a rotten blowfly. Our salamis also did not cure properly. The first batch were too soft, and the second batch had airspace in the casings, leading to pockets of inedible mould. A couple of steps divergence from what we were taught by Italian salami master Jack at the start of winter, perhaps grinding through too thick a dye on the mincer, and not being vigilant enough with choosing the appropriate fat and meat to mince, might have been the cause of these failures. It was also time to castrate Hugo to make him a wether. We did not want to manage a buck on the property, so using this illustrator, we cut off the circulation to his testicles.
That's it. I'm sorry, little buddy, alright? This is nothing personal.
They're both in.
They are both in. Yeah, they're both under there.
Just make sure that you've got to make sure the nipple's not in there, Dale. Oh yeah, it's not.
He hasn't really reacted too poorly.
No. You're okay.
Let's see how he walks.
Oh, you're alright, little man. Have a drink. Not that there's anything left. You've drunk it already.
Well, there was a little bit of a cry when he first got it, but he's
alright.
he's grumpy, but
Yeah. I guess he'll just be grumpy for a little while.
Oh,
He's fine.
I thought he was going to
Hate us.
maybe distrust us a little bit, but he still likes us. It's not very painful, obviously. So that's a illustrator. There was 3 options that we were weighing up. Well, not really. One of the options is a burdizzo, which is a type of plier that crushes the spermatic cord. We didn't really have one of those, so it was really either that, the illustrator, a ring that shuts off the blood supply to his testicles, or we were weighing up the option of actually knife castration as well, where you cut off the bottom third of the scrotum and pull the testes out. But it just so happens that a friend in the area had one of those illustrators and gave it to us, said it's very painless, bloodless affair, and he's exactly right. So now we just have to wait as the blood supply gets cut off they die and it all sort of withers away and falls off because it's unused. And now we've got playful goats still, which is good. I think he'll probably get a little bit lethargic a bit later on.
Okay. It's okay. So we put the ring on this morning and he was a little bit sad. He seems fine this afternoon, so that didn't last very long. He was upset for maybe an hour and now he's just acting like normal. Wants lots of cuddles and everything, so no hard feelings. So yeah, little Hugo's doing fine.
He's a pretty chill goat, you know that? Trust me, they only get you into trouble. Alright?
He's there. You're a bit trapped, mate.
Well, looks like our goat's been trapped in a bit of a compromising position here. We can see from the top that he's caught in the drawbar of the trailer, so they're constantly trying to scan and get different food, even though they've got 9 acres of nice trees and grass to eat. They're always looking for some other treat.
Would you like a hand, Hugo?
Hugo.
Hugo.
Oh, there you go, mate.
So this crate that's sitting on the trailer that's attracted the attention of all our goats is apples. And believe it or not, these ones, and if you could feel this you would know what I'm talking about, these are the rejects from the local apple packing place, so this is a bit spongy and soft. All of these ones just haven't passed muster. So we've been able to come and collect these and cart them away and feed them to our very, very grateful pigs. So it's actually saved us a bit of time going and gleaning, but we still are able to make use of a waste product, which is a real benefit from living in an area that's a major food producer. So this looks like a lot of waste, I guess, you know, because we're looking at a whole crate full of apples, but you know, in the broad scheme of things, with so many thousands and thousands of apples produced, you know, it's only a small percentage. It just looks like a lot when you have it like this. But we're really grateful that we're allowed to get a hold of this stuff, and our pigs are very grateful that we bring it to them. So our pigs will eat one of these a week, full of apples. Just really remarkable powers of consumption, those pigs. And they don't get sick of it. It's amazing.
Little baby. Little baby. So we're just doing a little bit of a tick check on Hugo and just looking at his... Oh, he's pretty good, but he's going to start getting annoyed. Just looking at his balls there, or what was his balls. It's going to fall off soon, but everything seems fine. It hasn't bothered him at all. It only bothered him the day we did it. So you're going alright, aren't you, mate? Hmm?
All of the loss from that 1 week in November on the farm did give us a deep gratitude for life, how precious it is and how lucky we are to be able to live here in this place.
Well, not 6, 7. Someone's laying 2 eggs.
To be in nature every day and to follow the seasons, whether that brings us good fortune or bad.
Good news.
One of our black hens has gone clucky and she's sitting on 9 eggs. Troy counted them the other day when she came out for a feed. So this is pretty exciting. They're actually due on Christmas Day. So first hen sitting on 9 eggs. Hopefully you have quite a few little chicks running around on Christmas Day.
To realise how much we have accomplished in such a short time, and to treat each loss and failure as a learning experience, to cherish and celebrate the successes.
And the temperature is good. We've had one more of our chickens go clucky all of a sudden. It's the season, spring, summer, they tend to want to sit on their eggs. So Pascal's aunt sent us these guinea fowl eggs, and we've been getting them up to temperature because what we're going to do is we're going to go and put them outside under our broody hen. I want to do this fairly quickly. So she's already sitting on a couple of eggs that will be nice and warm, so we just wanted to pre-warm these before we put them under there, just so when she sits back down she feels nice warm eggs. Admittedly there'll be quite a few more, but we'll see how we go. So we think that we're really poor parents of guinea fowl, but a mother hen will do a really great job of keeping them at the right temperature, rotating them properly, and more importantly, once they're born, we hope that she'll go on to give them chicken manners and also to convince them to hang around perhaps in a in the chicken enclosure rather than just sort of taking off. So one of our commenters wrote into us. They said they have some pretty vast experience with guinea fowl, and from their comment I believe them, and they said that after guinea fowl have been in an enclosure for about 8 weeks, it sort of imprints on them. They'll go about their business. They can get about 90% of their food from the wild, from actually foraging, and then at night time they'll come back, and that sort of makes them easier to manage. That will be even more the case, I imagine, once that they think their mum lives at a certain address. Anyway, less talk. We'll go and get these under that hen, and in about somewhere around about 25 days, hopefully we'll get a whole sack of guinea fowl.
She's so chilled out.
I love these Australorps for
Their nature.
Yeah, try not to thump those eggs.
Okay.
These are not my eggs.
But they're warm.
She won't be able to tell which one's what though.
Good girl. So our mama hen, she was sitting on quite a few eggs. Only 2 hatched at Christmas. Unfortunately, we hadn't built this little ramp for her on Christmas, so when we came out and saw her here with her 2 little babies, we went and checked the nest, and there was 1 egg that didn't make it, so that was a little bit sad. I think what happened was she came down here for a drink and a feed with her little chicks, and then she went to go back to her nest to sit on that egg, and she couldn't jump up. She couldn't leave her chicks behind. She could jump up, but the chicks couldn't get up. So yeah, lesson learnt for that. Make sure there's always a nice easy ramp for the chicks to get up so the mum can go back to the nest and look after her last babies. But we've got 2 healthy little chicks, so very exciting.
That is a good sight.
I'm grateful for all the animals in our care, the joy that they give us, and the nourishing food they provide us in return. The once weed-ridden and nutrient-deficient pasture was restored this spring to a lush green after being grazed by our pigs and chickens and hand-seeded by us in August.
So these pigs, if you've looked at them before, and we can see a past video, they were really digging a lot of ground up, moving it a lot. And I was a bit worried because we're renovating these pastures for maybe later on having some ruminants, and I thought when I reintroduce them they'd just dig it up again. It's totally not the case. They've actually started grazing on it. So if we look at it here, I mean, this paddock's a little bit hard bitten because they've been in it for a while, and I really should move them, but as it heats up I want them to have access to these tree belts. But they're actually grazing it just like cows are. They've gone along and they've gone and selected all of their favourite bits and pieces, and that's fine, but it's not nearly as much damage as I would have expected. So this wire here behind me, that's holding them from coming further up. But if we have a bit of a look over here, then this lush green square here is where the chicken pen used to be. So this is really amazing. I did come through and seed this, but when I compare it to everywhere else, we have this like fantastic green carpet where the chickens were confined. So their manure is absolutely transforming this block.
We found appreciation in every second of the spring rains before the dry, hot summer began. And now that the summer has begun, we have planted out our other beds in the vegetable garden, and the growth over the last 2 months since that tragic week in November has been incredible. We've also welcomed 4 beautiful geese to the ranch. Many an hour has been spent admiring these beautiful creatures, and they seem to be settling in well. The pantry and fridge are now filling up with summer harvests. To see the fruits of our labour, fermented vegetables, salad, different fresh and hard goat's cheeses, a range of charcuterie, some delicious like the copper, mini rump prosciutto and lardo, and some of course with room for improvement like our too soft and too fatty salamis. Our homegrown Christmas ham was also a big success with my family for our Christmas Eve dinner. Now that the weather is warmer, the dog has been relegated outside to keep her eyes, nose and ears on any intruders. Perhaps if she hadn't been inside with Troy, asleep by the fire on her beanbag that afternoon, she may have scared off the fox that took our chicken. She has taken to her new role as guard dog dutifully, barking at night at any suspicious animals, and already chasing down and capturing a fox on our driveway last month. Our highline hens spend the night and morning protected behind an electric netting enclosure, and our Australorp hens spend the night and the morning in their coop. In the afternoon, we continue to let them out to free range around the house and surrounds. So far, we haven't had any further fox incidents or sightings around the dwellings, but on the outskirts of the property, foxes and kangaroos still roam freely at night. The cats too spend the night outside with Jet, whilst we try to get dinner in before 8 PM, and putting our tired bodies to bed after sundown, to begin it all over again the following morning. Thanks everyone for watching this week. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up, it really helps us out. And if you haven't already, thanks for subscribing to our channel, as it helps get our videos out to like-minded audiences. See you next time.